What's up, everybody? Welcome into another episode of Trust the Tape. It's good to see you. My name is Jeff. And I'm joined by former Cowboy scout who last show he was wearing his Super Bowl ring. I don't know if he is today. We Super Bowl ringing? Of course we are. Super Bowl ring, Bryan Broaddus.
Hey, Bri.
Morning, Bri. How you doing out there, Oxnard, California?
Doing great, Jeffrey. Off to a really good start this morning. We got the old Marine layer coming in, and by about 11 o'clock, that thing will burned off, and we'll be ready for some ball practice today. Second day of pads for us before an off day tomorrow.
Anybody get thumped yesterday? Or they're not hurting each other yet?
Yeah, Spanford got hurt. Spanford got rolled up on, and he, I'm thinking it's a sprained ankle. He's likely, he has to get an MRI. I don't know if he got it late yesterday or early today, and we'll see how that all plays out. Terrence Steele was back at practice, he had earlier an ankle injury that he had to deal with. He was going through individual drills. It seems like that Rob Jones, the backup guard who had been getting some first team reps a couple of practices ago when they moved Booker to the second team for a little bit. Rob Jones broke a bone in his neck and he'll be out several months. So yeah, they've lost a veteran guard and a tight end right now. We'll see what happens with Spanford, but he got rolled up. It was Hunter Lipke was on a block and then tried to make a cut and he just fell in the back of Spanford's legs. Fortunately, it wasn't a knee, but we'll see what the diagnosis is later today.
You think we need to cut Hunter Lipke for that? If he's out here hurting people,
man, I'll tell you what.
Send him home.
It seems like Hunter Lipke is on every play. This offense is trying to be a very heavy offense, and I know you probably have some subjects and stuff, but I want to talk about something real quick, if I could. The Cowboy running game, and I didn't want to believe this. Do you have a question, quick? Or
No. I'm just rocking through, just highlighting some people who are saying good morning and all of those things, just making sure they get seen a little bit in the chat there. No, I'm excited to talk about their run game. You mentioned Hunter Lipke. You've said the words power gap in our last visit. I'm excited for you to tell us about the Cowboys run game, Brian. Although I think you've lost me, so I don't think you can tell us anything. I think you've lost me. But I want you to know that the look on your face is incredible as you try to figure it out. I'm thoroughly enjoying what's happening right now. Okay, I'm sure Brian will be right back. What's up, everybody? Good morning. Good to see you. Shout out to Jake Ferg getting all of his money. 4 years, $52 million. If Spanford is hurt for a little bit, well, guess what? One of your tight ends now is a $13 million per year man, and he can step his game up, play every single play. How about that? C. Nick said Hunter making the team confirmed. Based on the things that Brian is telling us about their run game so far, I think there is no doubt about that. Because if we need a crash course on how power gap running works in the NFL, I'd be happy to run you through the basics, but not when Brian's about to pop back in here and say what he's going to say about the Cowboys run game. So here comes Bryan Broaddus.
Yeah, sorry about that. This is the danger. I have the worst internet in the history of internet in my hotel room.
Yeah.
And so I'm doing this on my phone. And then when somebody calls you, it just totally discombobulates. So if it happens again, Jeff, I'm sorry about this.
Here's the good part. I thoroughly enjoy your face when something is wrong. Like, it was clear you couldn't hear me, but you were working on it, and it was a great face. You need to know that.
Sorry about that. I just didn't know I was going to get a call out here at 6:48 in the morning. But anyway, the Cowboy running game, and when I want to talk about it, yesterday when we had a chance to visit with Coach Schottenheimer in before practice, he was talking about how his father was kind of like the pioneer of 9-on-7, the running game aspect, and how to work on the running game, how to be physical and all that. And Brian Schottenheimer said, yeah, my dad was one of those guys. Every day, 9-on-7, toughness, work on the running game, all that. And Schotty came out and said, hey, no, I'm interested in 11-on-11 football. And then all of a sudden, I was looking around, I'm like, and how is this guy going to get tougher in the running game? And they talk about the running game every day, about how they need to get better, how they're going to do it. And next thing you know, we go out to practice and, I'm thinking like, okay, well, here we're just going to do team period. That son of a gun lined up basically like 9 out of 11 plays and ran the football in team. I mean, 11 on 11 ran the football. And it wasn't like, and I'm thinking, okay, I see what he's doing here now. He's not going to do 9 on 7. He is going to have 11 on 11, wide receivers blocking, backs running the ball, offensive lineman tight end. He called, I'd say about probably 11 plays. The first play was a pass, and then it was a fumble, mercilessly a foul, knocking the ball loose from Stevens.
Oh, see, now we're going to punish you. We're not throwing the ball no more. If you're going to fumble, we're not throwing the ball no more.
He ran the ball probably 9 straight. He got under center and ran the ball like 9 straight plays. And I'm thinking, okay, I see what he's doing now. I went from being very skeptical about how they were going to do this. And they talking about, oh, we're going to run the ball. We want to be physical. And I'm thinking, how the hell are you going to be physical if you don't do 9 on 7 and inside drills and stuff like that? He said, shut up, Brian. Sit over there and watch. And they did. They ran the ball, and at times very effective doing it. And I really do believe this with all my heart. How good they run the ball is a lot going to be about how good those 3 inside guys are going to be. How good the center, the 2 guards, these 2 tackles are very athletic. When Steele gets in there, he's very athletic. Adeniji has done a nice job. There hasn't been this huge drop off that you kind of thought if you lost Steele, but they ran the ball with some effectiveness. Hunter Lipke moving as a fullback, as an H. They went heavy personnel. They took Awesome Richards and made him the extra. Now, he started off on the left side. They moved him to the right side with Hunter Lipke. He was in motion, so was he really an extra lineman, or was he a tight end? They're trying to do some things to be more physical running the football.
And you mentioned it the last time that we spoke, and I think it would bode well for somebody asked in the chat while you were doing the thing.
Sorry about that, Chad.
Clarence Hill probably called you and ruined the show for a minute. That's what I'm kind of used to. It seems like something that would bode really well for Hunter Lipke based on my not being an offensive coordinator understanding of when you want to run a gap or man blocking scheme. A fullback can become a big part of that when you have guys just teeing off coming down and we're creating a gap over here, which means a fullback would be a perfect option to come kick this guy out. That's how we're going to open it up. It sounds like something where a fullback might have a big job on this team.
This is a power gap running scheme is what it really is. And you're going to get a move guy. And this is very reminiscent of what San Francisco does by using Kyle Juszczyk. And I'm not saying that Hunter Lipke's Kyle Juszczyk, but the thought yesterday was some counter scheme. So there's your, instead of your pin and pull, there's your down, and then bring it. And they brought it a couple of times. They opened up a really nice hole with Smith and Guyton. So they got Guyton as the trail. So they get a kick and then they get a guy up inside. And now Sanders is up behind that. So, and then, even TJ Bass one time came across, bam. And then even Matt Willetsko, but he came across and got bammed.
Okay.
So, but
you don't have to do that to Matt. Okay. But that's
fine.
But
that's what I'm saying. It's, we were thinking pin and pull. And maybe they'll get to the pin and pull, but right now it's power gap, combo, get to the second level, and then pull, down, and then run the ball up inside. They're running the ball inside more than they're running the ball outside.
Captain Creature is in the super chat. Broaddus, the Cowboys' Obi-Wan Kenobi, or would he be Yoda? Which Star Wars character would you like to consider yourself when it comes to Cowboys coverage? Hey, make sure, by the way, that you are following the Crown Global Media YouTube page. If you're out there, that's Bryan Broaddus Venture. Okay, make sure you're following that.
Yeah, subscribe, and I say with this, always say subscribe and like, and the subscriptions are always appreciated.
And, you're gonna have to figure out how to talk like a YouTuber, baby.
And I tell you what, that's part of it. But yeah, we're looking to launch this thing the 1st of September from our studios in Las Colinas area. So really excited about that. And but thank you, Jeff, for mentioning it. I appreciate you.
So which Star Wars, are you familiar with the Star Wars characters? Which one do you consider yourself?
Yeah, I think Yoda was kind of the wise one. And
I think you are Yoda. As you have been raising your Jedi Knights of Cowboy coverage, you have been the one who, do or do not. There is no try.
Right.
It's kind of been your game.
Appreciate that.
Erickson's super chat. Is our running game looking physical and good because our O-line's
Yeah.
looking good, or because our DTs are undersized and not great? That's my favorite
No,
thing
it's
about
not.
training camp.
Yep, there you go. You knew you were going to get one or the other. I think the scheme is really good on how they're doing it. And I think when you got yesterday with Blue had a really nice day. Sanders has been really good in this camp. As far as when and I mentioned Blue first, but I will talk about him. And I thought yesterday was the first day that he was really decisive running the football. And it was he saw it, he's going to press it, and then he's going to make the cut. He's really explosive running the ball, a lot like we saw at the University of Texas. When he gets the ball in space, and he's been running the ball inside, which shows you he's got a great deal of toughness to him. So really looking forward to seeing his progress. But I'll tell you what though, Solomon Thomas, the defensive tackle, gave you some problems running the ball yesterday.
Okay.
Solomon Thomas was, and he's been working against, and it's not like he's working against backup guys, working against Smith, working against Booker. There was one time where he was in the gap, shot the gap. BB's got the block back. BB couldn't get him. Boop, tackle for loss. So it hasn't been, the thing about it is, as a fan, you follow along through John Machota and others, Clarence Hill, you mentioned, Todd Archer, all these guys, Nick Harris. They post clips, and that's good. Cool, you get an idea. But you might post a clip where all of a sudden you have a defensive loss, and then you miss the 3 defensive wins in a row. So you got to trust me. It's not just a complete ass kicking by one unit over the other right now when it comes to playing defense or trying to execute this offense.
Somebody wants to know when I'll get to training camp and if Jerry and I will be duking it out. We're not going to duke it out. I think Jerry and I, he doesn't know this, but we're best friends. He doesn't know this, but I've been told I have to bring a suit because apparently the Netflix premiere is in LA while I'm out there. And I'm like, Clarence, do we have to go to that? And he's like, you have to go to that, Jeff. And so I have to bring a suit to Oxnard, but I'll probably skip that and just be at the Rudder Room. So I am excited about that.
We were at the Rudder Room. Last night, and it was hopping. And on a Sunday night, and George, the proprietor of the Rudder Room, loves seeing everybody when they come rolling in there. So very excited
to see you guys out here at the Rudder Room.
My man George lives 12 doors down from the Rudder Room. What a gig!
Yeah,
what a gig!
So when you talk about the defensive interior guys, when they're running 11 on 11, when they're running the first team, how many different guys are getting looks as interior defensive line guys? What is the very early looking depth chart?
Yeah, it's kind of like with Winfrey gets an opportunity to run inside. He's been the one that's been, it's been Mozzie, it's been, of course, it's been Solomon Thomas, the guy that really has shown up really, really well. And now JT, a rookie from UCLA, he gets a lot of opportunities. He's the biggest of the biggest,
big boy.
He's the big boy. But Perrin Winfrey has been surprisingly effective. And maybe this is why they're going to play with a little bit of lighter scheme.
Sorry, I think he's OU. I think
he is OU.
Yeah, I believe it's a Boomer Sooner.
He is an OU guy. And so what's happened is you got guys like him and Solomon Thomas that play with quickness. And so, but JT's been the primary big guy. I know people are asking about Mozzie Smith. Mozzie hasn't been as noticeable. And unfortunately for me, and I've watched now, I think that was the 5th practice I watched. I just haven't noticed him. And I'm trying to watch him work against the big guys and, the guards, the centers and stuff. And they've done a good job on him. So it has been one of those things where you haven't seen Mozzie Smith get in the backfield like the others. Like I say, Thomas, Winfrey, even JT, they ran JT on a twist.
Let's go. 342 turn the corner, baby.
342 twist. But they've had some good moments. King Basadi was also getting some work in there. He's the rookie that was drafted really late. So yeah, they're trying to throw some things at it. I thought it was a good day yesterday for Maris Leofau. Clark is getting an opportunity. Murray has been out. I know people are asking me, what about Murray? Well, Murray's been out since like the first practice with he having a child. He and Bland had been gone, and yesterday Booth had a really good day of practicing. So the corners, people are trying to fill in. Some of them, it's been really, really good. Others, it's been not as noticeable as you would think.
See, and I think if you're going to do the Halloween baby making, wifey's wearing something that is a really nice costume, looks real good to you, got some appeal to it. And then all of a sudden you're having a kid during training camp,
Yeah,
Like, when that happens, I support you can be there to catch the baby.
Yeah.
Got him.
Get back.
Yeah.
Get
one
back.
little on the forehead.
Yeah.
Come on back,
I'll see in a couple of weeks, but yeah, that's it's been, like I say, but the guys who've stepped up have done an admirable job of, like I say, Maris Leofau, first play of practice, the ball goes to flat. It's a good design of a play. They get the ball to Stevens. Maris Leofau runs from the middle of the field, knocks the ball out of his hand, defense's ball. Next play, they try and run inside, and Maris Leofau steps up, meets back in hole, meets Williams in hole, no gain. So the linebackers are showing up some, but like I say, please don't get fooled by clips. Usually there's like a good clip, and then there's a makeup clip, another makeup clip, or maybe the other team got back to being good again. This has been a very competitive practice that way when it comes to how it's been balanced out.
Ken's in the super chat, and we sure do appreciate it. What's up with Payton Turner? We picked him up, but haven't heard much of anything about him.
Oh, man, you've been not following us on Crown Global Media. I talk about Payton Turner a lot. Payton Turner has surprised me of how well. Payton Turner has also played some nickel tackle. And it was one time where Booker tried to set him, went arm over, beat him up the field. Payton Turner with the Saints has played some nickel tackle, and I think they're going to try and use him that way. But he's been surprisingly better when they've thrown the football. He's got a guy I didn't think was a great pass rusher, but he looks like he's got some pass rush skills for somebody as tall as him.
Alec wants to know, didn't Winfrey play a lot of zero tech at OU? And boy, you
Sure
were
did.
asking. Okay, I was saying you're asking for a hell of a memory right there without going to check notes.
Sure.
But Brian's got you covered.
Absolutely, sure did. Yeah, played the 0, played the 1. Yeah, and was kind of an undersized guy, a little bit not as undersized as say a Leroy Glover, but that same kind of snap. When the hands inside snap. I mean, he could take BB and grab him, and they kind of stalemated a little bit. But yeah, he did. He played 0 technique at Oklahoma.
Dro knows all he ever wants. Dro is a good, strong, and faithful listener and watcher of the program. And Dro always wants to know how Jay Toya looks because he thinks Jay Toya is going to be the defensive rookie of the year.
Yeah, and good for him. I mean, Jay Toya, I tell you what, for a 342-pound man, moves very well. In person, you watch him; he moves very well. And but with all that comes some, like they stop him, and if you watch him at UCLA, and it sounds like that our guy did watch him there, when you got him to start, stop, and then start again, that's where there was a little bit, and that's the stuff that he's going to have to fight through. He can't let blockers stop him, and when that happens, then he kind of gets thrown off his path a little bit.
You once again have said the name Miles Sanders when you were talking about the Cowboys running game and somebody who looked good. Is there any shift in terms of who is getting reps, or is it kind of just Javonte and Miles are going back and forth?
Miles, it's Williams, it's Blue, it's we've lost Vaughn again to a hamstring injury. So that will be
it's gonna be the end of him.
Well, it was kind of like, he said it wasn't as bad as last year. It's a hamstring, but if you ask me the noticeable backs, it's been Sanders and it's been Blue. Phil Maffa hasn't really caught my eye in any of this stuff yet. Maybe it will in the preseason games, but right now it's been Sanders and Blue, the ones that have shown the most explosive. And then also Turpin in the backfield when they've handed him the ball. That's been effective.
Jesse Holly's going to hate that I give time to this question, Brian, but we believe
backup quarterback.
Yep. How is Joe Milton working out? If Dak goes down, would you prefer to have Rush or Milton?
Oh, well, I tell you what, just give me the wheels off aspect of Joe Milton. Okay. I tell you, well, Joe Milton though did something yesterday that it kind of questioned if Joe Milton is not that Joe Milton's not picking up the offense, but I wonder they specifically put Turpin in the backfield. They put Turpin in with the 2s, and they put him in the backfield kind of as an offset running back, and then had a fullback, had Hunter Lipke over here, and so they had him offset. And what they did was they ran him into the flat. I mean, right into the flat, and they ran two guys inside to kind of pick. And you're thinking, ball's got to go there, right? This is a special play.
For one person. This is a one-man route.
Joe Milton threw it in the middle of the field.
To the guys
you're
who are
like,
setting picks?
yeah, well, to the guy on the other side. And you're like going, wait a minute, didn't he call this play specifically to get the ball to Turpin and see how it would look?
Right.
So Joe Milton is very much he's a wheels off, exciting, you don't know what's going to happen next kind of guy. He does run around way too much for a practice for me. Make the throw. Try and make the throw. Don't, scrambling around is great, but when you're in practice, try and make the throw.
How many draft picks should we trade along with Joe Milton to get Jameis Winston in here to be the backup? That's always my game.
The discussions that we had was that, and I think this is Bobby Belt and I had this discussion last night on the way to the Rotor Room, is that he believes that if the Cowboys had to go play one game,
Greer.
Yeah, he thought that maybe Greer for one game. If it is for the season, it would be Joe Milton. But yeah, that's his thought. But Bobby believes that, that's how they think.
Are we going to look back at the Jake Ferguson with his new contract as a standard Cowboys negotiating with a really big name guy, and so they look for anyone open to business to sign a deal and then be like, haha, look at us go? Or are we going to look back at it as, yeah, Jake Ferguson's a really good NFL tight end, and that's where he belongs?
I think Jake Ferguson, when you start to look where the contract falls, I think it's the 7th per year.
Right. Which will probably be 13th a year from now and 20th 2 years from now.
Yeah, I think that it's very evident that if you're willing not to be the highest paid guy at the position and you're willing to try and negotiate with the Cowboys, that they're willing to negotiate with you. And Jake Ferguson was. I mean, here's a guy he's kind of thinking like, do I want to chance this? Do I want to, he jumped ahead of the line. He was really probably the last one when you started talking about the levels of who all was going to get signed. Yeah. He was probably the last one everybody was talking about. And all of a sudden now he's in and he's got his contract. And, but I think with Stephen Jones and those guys, if you're willing not to be the highest paid guy, they're going to deal with you.
Can I do this for myself real quick?
Sure.
Last week, Jesse and I were talking about how somebody is going to get a contract done and it's not going to be Micah. And we picked it.
You picked Ferguson.
We picked it. It's the one that makes the most sense. He's a good player coming off of injury and down year. And so he will want to compromise. They like him. Like, to me, that was the one that made sense. And now they're going to look at Mike and be like, where are you at, buddy? We're trying to get, we're out here making deals. You want to make a deal? And Mike is like, yeah, $43 million. And they're like, crap. But no, I think Ferguson's the guy who made the most sense. Like Bland, I think between having had an all-pro season, like the number that he's going to want or try to command versus what they probably would be happy with, I think that one's tougher. Tyler Smith is going to set the market. They don't get in a hurry on those. Yep. Jake Ferguson was the one where it's like, good player, down year. I think they'll both be motivated, and that one will get done. And so I'm going to give me one of these.
Good job.
Do you think both Bland and Tyler Smith will end up being Cowboys for the next 5 years?
I think Tyler Smith's got a good shot at that. Bland, I'd be a little interested in. I'll tell you what, I watched, if you watch, I think Tommy Yarish posted a clip of Ravel working out yesterday. That didn't look good.
That didn't. Not close?
That did not, if you go on Tommy Yarish, he posted a clip of Ravel working a little bit. Ravel went up for a ball, came down kind of awkwardly, kind of limpy a little bit. I don't know. I was very, very hopeful of that one, and that one doesn't look really close. I was told what that one was going to be, we're going to get him 100%, and then we're going to get him ready. He had been working more he was doing a drill, not with Britt Brown. He was doing defensive back drills and came down. And if you follow Tommy Yarish of DallasCowboys.com, it's a clip, and you're kind of, and it really doesn't paint a really pretty picture right now.
So based on what you've seen so far, if they're going out there and it's Bland, it's Elam, and you said last time maybe Keemon Hall. Can we survive? Can we survive this? We're gonna be okay.
Yeah, Hall will battle his ass off. Elam is having one of the better camps. If you go through week 1 and say, give me your top 5 guys that have had a good camp so far, Elam's in the top 5 easily.
Nice.
Yeah, he's done a good job. He really has. And every time the media portion of practice has been available, he's made plays. He's got 2 interceptions this last week.
Yeah, so I did a little Lion King action, pulled a kid out of the crowd.
Crazy. So it's so funny. Cat was funny. Little kid was just like, oh, he's just broke. Like hold him up. Yeah.
No, like, wait, what? Where did? Oh God.
Oh no. What did we just have? Yeah. Thank God he didn't drop the kid.
Yeah, that would have been terrible. That's why I won't hold anyone's children, because I think in that scenario you have one drop and you're a bad person forever. And so I just think you have to be careful about that. Last question for you today, Brian. Have you had a hot dog or a bun since you've been out there in California?
Now this is a hot dog bun. I think it's a hot dog too.
A lot of poke bowls, man. I'm the big fan of the poke bowl.
Okay.
I love me some. Matter of fact, Vach Lombardi and I, we go out to eat, and Vach will order something like he had a bison burger yesterday.
Yeah.
And I had the poke bowl. I don't understand. The bison doesn't have a lot of fat in it to begin with, and then Vach got it cooked medium, and I'm thinking
you wanted it to be medium rare.
Well, almost you need it rare because the bison doesn't have a lot of fat in it to begin with.
See, I didn't know that.
That thing would be very puckish to me if you cooked it the way he cooked it.
So the bison, a less fat carrying creature than your standard cattle.
Much.
Okay. Muscular. Is that what the bison is? I thought we were like out of bison. I thought we were kind of off the ball.
No, we brought him back just for delicacy. It's really, like you say, you got to be careful because it is it's not as much fat in it like a normal hamburger.
Yeah.
So you have to be careful. And Botch ordered it medium, and I wasn't going to say anything. I was going to see how he reacted to it.
Well, I will say, and this is not.
I didn't pay for it though. I paid for it for him though, so I could have reacted, but I didn't.
I should hold this until Jesse or Clarence is the one I'm talking to, because I do call the Dallas Cowboys podcast occasionally your home for lighthearted, friendly racism. I do think that there is a little bit of a racial divide on average on when it comes to how well things are cooked.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, but on the bison, I think I would have gone medium too, just not knowing. I wouldn't have known. But if you were there to advise me, I might have gone. I wouldn't have gone below medium rare though.
Yeah, see, that's the thing about it is that you get to know bisons don't have a lot of fat on them. So
okay, now we know
strong animals.
Knowing is half the battle. G.I. Joe. Brian, enjoy your day. Everybody, make sure that you're following Crown Global Media. Check Brian out on the 105.3 The Fan. Love the Star podcast. Doing all right podcast. Did I miss anything? 6 more things.
Let's see. Doing all right. Love of the Star. Trust the Tape. And the break. I'm on the break here in a couple hours. Yeah. DallasCowboys.com.
This is how many jobs Brian has each day.
I'm Jamaican. I'm part Jamaican.
Tune into all of them. All right. Peace out, Brian. Have a great day.
Thank you, man.
Thank you, everybody, for stopping by. Hit the like button on your way out, or else, which of course is not a threat. And remember, you have no idea what anybody's going through, so be cool to everybody. We love you. Be easy.